welcome back to New York City. I'm Ariel with Urbanist, and today we're going to wander around Lower Manhattan. We're starting at Jersey Street, which is an alleyway, one of the very few in New York City. It's actually featured in the Sex and the City episode where Carrie Bradshaw is very happy because she just bought some high heel shoes that were very expensive, and the guy who comes to rob her ends up asking her for a wallet, and then she says, "Oh, all right, good. Here's the wallet." And he's like, "The Manolo Blahniks as well," which are the shoes. The shoes like, "Not the Manolos." And unfortunately, she loses her shoes. There's no such crime that happens here, luckily, in the neighborhood of Soho. It's very safe. But today we're going to wander around this lower area of Manhattan and let the wind be our back. No history, no agenda, no direction. For a good hour, just wander around New York City. Feel free to ask me anything and let me know if you want to or curious about anything that's down here. Let's go. Hello, Chakra. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Lorraine. Nice to see you here. Welcome to New York City. I'm Ariel with Urbanist, and we are starting at Jersey Street, right in front of the New York Public Library. And let me know if you remember that Sex and the City episode. It was not technically here, it's one block over, same alleyway, just one block over. Good to see you again too, Wendy. Hello, Judy. Hello, everyone. So glad so many people are tuning in. Sandra from Boston. Let me know where you're watching from. Hello, Toyosio. Thanks so much for your Boston tour, says not today. Oh, so glad you enjoyed the Boston tour. I just came from DC, so are you referring more to the DC tour? Boston was like 3 weeks ago. Hello, Elisa. Hello, Josh. Colleen, you're watching from Brooklyn. Oh, nice to see you here from Brooklyn. Hello, Valerie. Melba from Northern California, and from New Jersey. Welcome. Hello, Lola. Love the LES, says Manolito. Traveled here from Orca and Delancey, right in front of Russ and Daughter's Cafe. We're pretty close. We're only about a 5-minute walk away. So here is Jersey Street. It's an alleyway. This is the exact area. Carrie Bradshaw was robbed in the show, Sex and the City, right over here. Poor woman lost her Manolos. Manolos are very expensive. It's still a mystery to this day how Carrie Bradshaw made so much money to afford $800+ shoes on a daily basis. Is that Jersey Street too, Phyllis? Yes, that's also Jersey Street. Great camera, says Shanachai. Shanachai, I'm using the iPhone Pro 11 Max. Yes, DC was a moving tour for all. So glad you found the DC to be such a moving tour. Joe says, still can't get over Clay Underwood. Oh, Joe, yeah. Magical day. Shanashai, as I mentioned, I'm using my phone, no fancy camera, just my phone. iPhone Pro 11 Max. Judith, never heard of Jersey Street. Well, yep, it's in Soho, New York City, between the border of Soho and Nolita. So how do you tell the difference? Well, right here at the border point. Nolita is technically Soho, or at least historically speaking, but it's been having its own character. Due to the architecture. So over here you see lower rise architecture, not so industrial, more residential, more tenement buildings. And on the other side of Lafayette, you see more industrial buildings that are now mostly offices and retail shops. And that's the differentiation between Soho and Nolita. Nolita stands for North of Little Italy, because Little Italy, this was Little Italy, but they just end up making the acronym anyway. So actually, let's turn over here. And we'll zigzag through Nolita. Sandra, Urbix is your favorite. Ooh, what's Urbix, Sandra? Hey, Elisa, very happy to be in beloved New York. Oh yeah. So cafeteria closed down. Cafeteria is actually another place featured in Sex and the City. This is not a Sex and the City tour, but we just happen to be an area where they have a lot of locations that were featured here. And one place where they've run brunching a few times was in this place called Cafeteria. Now it's no longer Cafeteria, though they kept a similar aesthetic. La Pecora Blanca, which I think means the white sheep. Delicatessen must be near. Ooh, yes, Kat's Deli is close. It's about a 10-minute walk away. How was my trip to DC? From DC to New York? Very smooth. It was very quick. Oh, well, not very quick, actually. Very long. 3 hours and 40 minutes, but smooth. When are you coming to Houston? Do you mean Houston, the street here in New York City? We're only a block away. Or do you mean Houston, the city in Texas? City in Texas. I'll be there maybe one day. Not entirely sure when. The street, we're just nearby. You'll probably see Houston at some point in my upcoming live videos. You need a Nintendo Switch for those trips. Now, well, I download a lot of videos on YouTube, and I also had a pretty big book with me. So my favorite restaurants are starting to open up again. I recommend Parm. Very good chicken parmesan sandwiches, and they have outdoor seating now. And they're constructing more permanent outdoor seating. So, sorry. So outdoor seating right now in New York City is permanent. And since that is the case and they're able to have permanent, well, at least with the permit, they have to get a permit, but once they get the permit, it's permanent, as long as the business is still running. And with that, that means that they're making more elaborate outdoor seating areas. Here, like Ruby Rosa, made a beautiful tent. I'll show you one of the best ones here in SoHo, or Nolita. Jacqueline, welcome back. Thank you so much. Hello, Happy Chicken, NY Penny. Reggio's in the village. Ooh, what is Reggio? Is it one of the Little Italy restaurants? Here, Ruby's. I just had a brunch here. I'll actually post a photo of it so you can see what I had. Before going live, this is what I had. I had avocado toast with the poached egg on top and a side of roasted pumpkin. And it absolutely blew me away. And they have outdoor seating divided by dividers, and they also have heat lamps, which are really cool. So are New Yorkers eating as normal? No, not quite. The restaurants are open indoors, but many of them are now having very wide open windows and more spacing inside the restaurant, which is good. I think that's a good alternative. Though, if you're uncomfortable with seating too close to other people, then there might be other better restaurant options. I'll point them out if we pass them. Here's a coffee shop, always very fashionable. That looks scrumptious. Oh yeah, it really was. Really was scrumptious. You know, here in New York City, if you don't want to be too close to too many people, there are restaurants that are good, that are just not filled earlier in the day. So you do have the option to sometimes go to these restaurants where they don't have the biggest popularity, but they're much emptier. Valerie, you miss New York City. NY Penny says, No sign of you, but here you are. What do you mean, NY Penny? That looks scrumptious, says Judith. Oh yeah, heading to Union Square soon from Queens. Oh cool, Rebel Poet. Is it still drizzling? Yes. Actually, not drizzling. Not right now at this very moment. But do bring your umbrella, just in case. I'm here late, Queens. Hey, Comprehension, nice to see you here. B. Griffith says, I never run out of energy. Indeed, indeed. So, this is a pure wandering. Let me know if you have literally anything that you would like to say at all in this journey in Lower Manhattan. You know, I've done so many videos in New York that sometimes I kind of run out of novel things to show you at this point. You want to see my older videos on Facebook. I've done over 1,000+ videos in New York alone. And while there's always new things popping up in New York, I still have covered extensively. Any boutique shops open? Yes. Vintage is a bit tough. It's a bit tough in this area, though. Let me point out one street that has a few 2 or 3 vintage shops. We'll go to it. I'll point them out. There's some very like high-end vintage here in Nolita. One of them is Housing Works, which I've shown about 2 weeks ago when I went to do a shopping tour. Go down Prince Street, please. We just did earlier in the video. Check it out. It was towards the beginning. That was Prince Street. It's interesting to see how New York is coping with COVID-19. Yeah, much better than other cities, I think, in terms of adapting its outdoor seating situation. You know, Europe is already, many parts of Europe are used to outdoor seating. New York wasn't. And I seriously can't look back. I cannot look back to the times where I would be crowded in a restaurant where it's fairly nice outside or very beautiful outside. Right now, you know, it's getting colder, but it's still good enough to sit outside and enjoy some outdoor seating. So let me know, can you look back to days before outdoor seating? Here's a new coffee shop. Haven't tried it yet, but got good reviews. They're serving Think coffee, so it's not their own coffee. And here's another coffee shop. So like 2 coffee shops, one after the other. This one has very high reviews. New Yorkers tend to be resilient. Gelato over here. And this gelateria has wonderful outdoor seating. FCV, how much income can you get with only 15K though? FCV, this is not really the channel for discussing income. So feel free to ask me anything about history, food, or travel. So here we are in Little Italy. And welcome to Little Italy. La Mela is one of your favorite restaurants here, says Bobby. Oh, cool, Bobby. I'm glad you enjoyed the Little Italy scene. I hope the outdoor seating stays. It will. It is. Mayor de Blasio officially made a, I'm not sure what you would call it officially, and probably is called an edict, where outdoor seating is here to stay, with restaurants who have been able to get a permit for a piece of parking, which they can convert to outdoor seating. So it's here to stay. And the thing is, New York City has a whole lot of parking spaces. The streets here are plenty wide, and a lot of restaurants have been able to do outdoor seating, even like small cafes and etc. Here's Audrey Hepburn, one of the greatest actresses to have ever lived. Did you get the bookstore you would say I would buy at that bookshop? Yeah, I ended up getting the books I wanted to buy at that bookshop in Washington in Washington D.C. Yeah, I did. So here it is, La Mela. Established 1985. Let's take a closer look. Bobby likes La Mela. Mangia La Mela. Io mangio La Mela. This side is closed. This side is open. No tables out yet. I'm an Earth Cam. Cool. Is it Little Italy has an Earth Cam? That's impressive. Sharon, can I take you away? Oh, La Mela is huge. Can I take? Ooh, let's see. Sharon says, "Can I take you to where West Side Story was filmed?" Yes. That actually does not look like it is anymore. West Side Story was filmed in modern day Lincoln Center. As you know, Lincoln Center is now Lincoln Center. Before Lincoln Center was Lincoln Center, it was a bunch of tenement buildings. So if you want to get the look of Washington, West Side Heights, or West Side Story, you can't go to Lincoln Center. You're not gonna get it. The only way you can get it is by coming here to Little Italy and the nearby Lower East Side. These are the same type of buildings that used to be right at Lincoln Center before they destroyed it and built the center. Here's the oldest cheese shop. Hey Darren, nice to see you again. Love when New York brings us all the memories, says Roseanne. My favorite Little Italy. Oh, it's so cool. One of my favorite banh mi places, Vietnamese sandwiches, is right here, Banh Mi Saigon. Absolutely love this place. My two top banh mi places is Banh Mi Saigon, and then my other favorite one is right around the corner called, wait for it, Saigon Banh Mi. Two different places, just written the opposite way. Banh Mi Saigon and Saigon Banh Mi. Here's another very old Italian shop from 1925, Di Paolo's. Speaking of cheese, have you been to the Murray's Cheesecake Cave? No, not yet. Oh, I wish, yeah, these businesses are not so friendly for the camera, so I usually don't go inside. Unless if I buy something. So no, and also it's closed. So they are not doing any inside service whatsoever in this one at least. What terrible year to have Halloween on a moonlit Saturday. This is Rebel. Is it going to be a full moon for Halloween? Let me know. Went to Venero's a few weeks ago. Oh, cool, Reverend Poet. Did you enjoy it? Are we in Little Italy? Oh, so Little Italy is about one more block down. So we just passed one out of like 2 blocks of Little Italy. Now we are transitioning to Chinatown. Fun fact, the moon will conjoin Mars on Halloween. Oh, that's interesting. If you're into astrology, that's very interesting. Am I a certified tour guide? Yes, I'm a licensed tour guide. Though I don't consider myself a tour guide by career, I am a filmmaker. I just happen to offer tours along with these videos, if you're ever interested. What's my opinion of Shu Zhao Fu Zhou? I've made 3 videos of best dumplings in New York. Shu Zhao Fu Zhou's has been in all 3. I love the dumplings at Shu Zhao Fu Zhou. It's unfortunately closed. It is not the most, I would say, high quality food. It's very tasty dumplings and very inexpensive dumplings. Is this Scaffold Avenue? There is no Scaffold Avenue. Every avenue has scaffolding of some sort. Oh, you have to be a U.S. citizen to be a tour guide? I didn't know that. That's interesting. I imagine you have to have a license, but I didn't know you had to be a citizen. The street names stop making sense. Well, this area predates the grid system. So as I mentioned, Chinese is on one side and Italian is on the other. We're going back to Italy just to show you the contrast, kind of highlight it for all of you. And here's Marge Simpson, one of the greatest moms of television. Hello, Michelle. Yes, we're in Chinatown / Little Italy. Hi, unknown. Hello. Mari, welcome. Crazy truck coming by. Hello, Max. Charlene, yes, I'm a licensed tour guide. I do have a license. I know Chinatown's next to Little Italy. Are you still there? Yep. We're crisscrossing. Do markets have a high theft rate with the produce on the sidewalk? Charlene, no, I don't think so. I rarely ever seen theft. My personal observation, and just like judging by whenever I go and see the crew or friends, you know, they don't seem like they're hounding you or like looking at you. So I don't think people really do steal in these open produce markets. Are prices higher because of COVID? Asked someone earlier. Yes and no. So yes, in the respect that a lot of places are sit down and you have to tip. Otherwise, you could take it to go, but then you're kind of like the casual food places don't have sit down seating like they used to in general. So tipping is a bit. Sorry about everyone. I just got a new mask and I love this mask, but it's super tight and I'm having so much trouble speaking because it just keeps going to my mouth. So sorry if I'm stumbling my words. Yeah, so yes, it's expensive because you have to give tip, and now because of the pandemic, it's more commonplace to give a 20% tip. But there is a little bit less expensive because some places are offering better deals. Some places are offering more compelling happy hours. Few places, not like every place. I would say maybe like 20% of places are offering a little bit more interesting happy hours, a little bit more interesting like deals of how like getting a larger pizza, or like there's a place nearby that used to only be pizza by the pie and they're starting to sell pizza by the slice. So that is interesting. Yeah, so the prices haven't really changed. I think if you look at the broader perspective, it hasn't really changed. And I was also a tour guide at one time. Okay, did I get the shields? No, not yet. I think sometimes, I appreciate you sending that. I can't wait to try it. I think sometimes delivery from Ireland takes like a week or two. Any areas you recommend staying away from, says Joshua? As a tourist, you probably won't be going to the areas that would have a higher crime rate. You'll be hard pressed to find those places. If you're a tourist more in the sense of liking street art, even then, neighborhoods like Bushwick and Williamsburg and Bedford-Stuyvesant are increasingly very safe. Bedford-Stuyvesant probably is the more dangerous one if you're there late at night and alone. Yeah, I would say that probably that's the only maybe tourist place that you'll go. Bedford-Stuyvesant is not like on the top guidebooks, but it's somewhere where if you're into street art or into interesting architecture, you may go. Probably the only place I would say don't go late at night on your own. Harlem, same thing, late at night on your own. You know, do proceed with caution. Central Park, also proceed with caution if you're hanging out there after 11 p.m. I don't think you're supposed to be in the park after 11 p.m. first and foremost. Is it safe to jog in the morning? Yes, it is. A lot of people do it, both men and women. I see jogging early in the morning and at dusk as well. Wendy, I did not show Union Station. I just shot a photo of it. Here's one of the best cannolis in New York City, in my opinion. Ferrara Bakery. Stephanie, I won't be posting a video, but I'll post a link after this video of my Airbnb. Are restaurants open for dine-in? Yeah, they are. They are. But limited capacity. Even sounds like Italy, says Hyde. Yeah, indeed. It sounds like Naples, especially the more fuller streets. Definitely has a Napoli sound to it. The Manhattan Bridge is close, yeah. Please, can you show the Woolworth building when you can? I'm interested. You want to see the Woolworth? All right. I'll show the Woolworth. Manolito. Let's go to Woolworth. Let's zigzag through this way. So if you ever wanted to see an illegal purse buying operation, there's one right here. They're buying a good Louis Vuitton and a great Prada, not Prada, Prada. They're buying a good Prada and a good Fendo as well. A good Fendo. Lots of closed businesses. In Canal Street, I'm not sure what's up with Canal Street. Canal Street has had closed storefronts before the pandemic as well. Those were knockoff purses. Yes, they were. Gracias por tus transmisiones siempre. Oh, qué bien que te encantan mis transmisiones. All right, I'm gonna take a swig of water before I continue walking around. Note to self, don't use a new mask when doing a live stream. It's so hard to speak with. All right. Manhattan Bridge never gets a mention. It gets a lot of mentions for me. Yeah, watch my older videos. I mention it quite a lot. Christine, thank you so much for the stars. Ariel, oh, Manolito, I don't go by Arielito, just Ariel. ¿Preferías verano o invierno? Do I prefer winter or summer? 100% summer. I love summer. Winter is magical because of the Christmas displays. So, a mí prefiero verano porque es más fácil a explorar y más fácil a ver todo. Los parques y la área al lado del río. Pero en invierno hay una magia, especialmente durante Navidades, porque puede ver todas las luces. And have you tried a cheesecake from Veselka? Yeah, I've tried the cheesecake from Veselka. It's good. It's good classic New York City cheesecake. Though my top recommendation for cheesecake in New York is Eileen's Special Cheesecake in Soho. Veselka also has amazing. Veselka. Oh, sorry, Todd. You're referring to Veselka. I thought you were referring to Venero's. Venero's is nearby Veselka. Veselka has cheesecake. Veselka's Ukrainian food. I didn't know it had cheesecake. That's interesting. Did they cancel the Macy's Day Parade? They did. Unfortunately, they did, yeah. So no Thanksgiving Parade this year. FDNY sounds. Let's see the FDNY pass by. Thank you so much. Fantastic you speak Spanish too. Yes, I do, Marie. All parades were canceled. Yeah, they were. All right. Ash, you say that it looks like British weather today. Yeah, it does. Good memories from London. Manolito says, I speak fantastic Spanish, just like a good Boricua. Oh, another little Italy restaurant. Todd says, Basaka has a great Eastern European style cheesecake. Oh, interesting. Interesting, Todd. Thank you for the recommendation. I'll give it a try. Here is the Tombs. You saw noodles, yeah. This is not the DMV. This is the detention complex in Manhattan that will potentially be closed. So who knows what it could be replaced with. Will you live in a condominium that looks like this? Let me know in the comments. This is slated to be closed. This is the detention complex, aka jail, in the middle of Manhattan, also known as the Tombs. If this were converted into a hotel or a condominium, will you stay in it? It has a sky bridge. Manolito says, yes, I would stay in it because it's in Manhattan. Oh, good choice, Manolito.
Yeah. Huh? Another run. Where? Oh, the BMS? Yo, bro, this shit is annoying, son. This shit is annoying, son. Might as well be just yeah.
Krista, I'm live. Yes, I am. Rooms from Law and Order. Yep. They are. Make sure you come visit Bryant Park. They're fixing the rink, an ice skating rink for me. Yeah, I can't wait. I think that usually happens around November. Hello, Amanda. Nice to see you here. No, says Kay. Too many spooky stories connected with it. Indeed. Jury duty. Yeah, it looks like jury duty. Uh-oh. There's police officers. Let's check them out. Let's say hi to the cops. And look at the fogginess. Oh. Yep, that's the municipal building, and we see the golden statue on top. The Manhattan Municipal Building. Gorgeous building. Scott, go by Ariel. Remember, this is the name of the show. Have I done Philly? Yes, I've done Philly. I did like 3 days in Philly and covered the history. That's on Facebook, and you can learn all about the history there. Let's see what. So many police here. That's interesting. There's a lot of police presence in front of the court. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe there's some high-profile court case here today. Be safe, whoever's holding the camera. I'm safe. New York isn't very safe. Well, heavy police presence here in the court. Do I know Action Kid? Asked Macho. Yes, I've done many collaborations with him, both on my channel and his. Is this the Courthouse? It is. Not entirely sure why the police presence is so strong and who are these people gathering in front. Yeah, a lot of police. They seem pretty relaxed though, so it doesn't seem like if it's anything serious. Though there's something going on. So here is what is called Civic Center, and here are all the Civic buildings. Noise of the subway, yeah, right over here. Kathy says, impressive building. The courthouse in your town is so tiny. Yeah, the courthouse here is pretty huge, you're right. Probably has a lot of cases processed every single day. Love your channel, keep up the good work. Oh, I'm so glad you do. Thank you so much, Macho, for tuning in. Will I do a walk through LES? Yeah, at some point soon. Yeah, I've done many walkthroughs at LES. Go on my Facebook and you can see my older videos. I do plenty of in-depth history videos of LES. So yeah, we're getting near the Woolworth building. I'll point it out once we get close to it. Cool architecture. When we start looking close to it, you'll end up realizing why Batman, the comic book, looks like it is. It's heavily inspired by New York, including the name of Batman City's Gotham. There's a good Bowery Boys YouTube video. The Bowery Boys make YouTube videos now. I didn't know that. Interesting. I gotta check them out. I love their podcasts. It's cool that they're making videos. There was rioting in downtown Brooklyn. Oh, I see. Okay. That's why there's a police presence. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, one pro tip I would give if you are here and you hear of any political unrest or any civil unrest, regardless of the reason, chances are the protests do happen in this area, right by City Hall, which is right next door, and right by Barclays Center in Brooklyn. So those are places to avoid if you're traveling within the next 2 or 3 weeks, in my opinion. The true administration of justice is the firmest pillar of good government. That's what it says. The steps of law and order. There's the U.S. Supreme Court building here in New York City. Are these self-serve? Yes, they are. There is the machine at the end for the bikes. Right there at the end. Right there. They're rentals, yeah. No scooters here, unfortunately, yet. Hopefully, one day they'll allow scooters. Why do some people have the names in blue with wrenches on them? Ask Shelly. Shelly, they are moderators, helping me spread the word of liking, making sure no one causes chaos in the comments, and keeps the comments politics free. Are you allowed to live stream from drones in New York? Ash. It is entirely illegal, unless if you have a permit, which I think could be pretty expensive, to fly a drone in Manhattan. So, sans a permit and sans a license, you cannot fly a drone in Manhattan. Outside Manhattan, it's a bit more gray area. Depends on the size of your drone. Can you do a live stream from it? Depends on the size of the drone. And it is a gray area. So it depends upon the police officer if they do stop you. So, yeah. Hey, Susie, you're in downtown too, but stuck in the office. Oh. Also depends on how close you are in the airport, says B. Griffin. Yes. Yep. The gray area is more dependent on the closeness to the airport, yeah. Did I ever meet Casey Neistat? No, I never met him in person. I've gotten close once because I went to one of the parties hosted at 368. But I never got to meet him in person. I seen him once. Close. I saw him at a coffee shop nearby. It's called Think Coffee Shop. It's pretty close by. About 2 blocks away, because Casey Neistat's office is 2 blocks away, or what used to be his office. And, you know, I was astonished to see him. I was very happy to see him. But I wasn't going to say hi to him, because, for one very good reason. To me, personally, coffee shops are a sanctuary. This is pre-COVID times. Coffee shops are a sanctuary, I think. I think if you go to a coffee shop, all you want is peace. At least I do. From my own personal perspective. So I wouldn't want to bother or to say hello to a celebrity in a coffee shop. And I would appreciate the same if I were known to many people. I would love to coffee shop, just like a church would be a place of sanctuary. So if I saw Casey Neistat maybe another time outside in the street, then I might say hi in that case. So yeah, I've seen him before. I've seen him pass by once on the street, but he was on a skateboard as well. He was going crazy quick through Soho. Griffin, you're looking at the wrong show. If you want less talking and more walking, you gotta check something out.
Bella Ross from Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh my God, Bella! Hey, how's it going? Oh wow! Thank you so much for saying hello, and thank you so much for the virtual tip.
Thank you. That way, nothing gets taken from you.
Okay, have a great day. Bye bye. Again, thank you so much for watching. Oh, wow, so cool. So, speaking of being spotted in public, that was Bella. So, everyone, give a huge thumbs up for Bella. Give a huge thumbs up for Bella. Huge round of hearts for her. She gave not a virtual tip. She actually gave a real tip. So thank you for that as well. Good for the contribution and for saying hello. Oh, that's Bella. That was so cool. Bella's been watching for quite a while. So cool. Thank you so much, Stephanie says, congrats on 16K. Hot dogs, yeah. Hot dogs are everywhere. That was awesome. Exactly what I'm talking about. Not saying hello to celebrities in coffee shops, but being okay with saying hello to them in person. That's funny. Amanda says, is it possible to link live Google Maps while doing these videos? I don't want to, because they're wanderings. I want to keep it spontaneous. So if you see a Google Maps, you'll probably see a bunch of squiggly lines all around. I encourage you, I know you want to kind of orient yourself in the city, especially if you're new to it, but I would encourage you to kind of just let go of the maps and enjoy the wandering, because once you do, I think you'll have a much deeper experience of the city. And then you can watch my friend Action Kid on YouTube, and he provides exact directions of where he walks. He tends to walk in very straight paths. So it's a good way to accompany my videos with. Manolito says it's an abstract walk, yes. And Manolito earlier said, no puedo saludar celebrities. It's a little bit hard. It's a little bit hard to say hi to celebrities. Sí, sí. A veces es bien intimidante. Yo dicho hola bien poco personas famosas. I've only said hello to a few famous people, not too many. Donald says, I like the fact that you don't use Google Maps in your live streaming. Thank you, Donald. Yes. They might be longer, they might be more meandering, but lo and behold, there's something special about going crisscrossing. "4K Wanderer recommends to learn the landmarks." That's a great way to orient yourself. Yeah, so I point out landmarks and you'll be able to really get a sense of where I'm at after you watch the video. Should go through that archway. Yeah, let's go through this way. Yeah, great recommendation. Ash, yeah, indeed, Ash. Explore the plaza under the municipal building. All right, everyone. Who wants to go under the municipal building? Let me know in the comments. Gorgeous building, yeah. So right here is the Woolworth building. We're gonna see that afterwards, Manolito. Thank you for the recommendation. Here's the Frank Gehry building. You might recognize that name. Who's Frank Gehry from Washington, D.C.? Let me know in the comments. What I miss, Christian, you missed me talking about Casey Neistat. You missed the wonderful Bella, longtime urbanist, saying hello, spotting me. You missed a few things. How was DC? Did you stop at Union Station? I did go to Union, but I didn't do a live video there. I love the Union Station, beautiful station. Watch out for Crocodile Dundee. Oh, this is the location of the famous scene from Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, where a mugger comes up to him, and I think the woman he's with, and he says, "Give me all your money," with the shiv. And Crocodile Dundee, very casually, very confidently, pulls out a gigantic machete and says, "You think that's a knife? Now this is a knife." Pardon my Australian accent. Wow, gorgeous. Look at that, the voice here. Wow. The entrance reminds you of the Brandenburg Wall. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right, Elisa. Great observation. CB remembers that scene from Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, I'll show you. It's right down there. Let's zigzag around. Wow, let me zoom in on more of the details. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous building. Jadwiga, nice to see you here. Welcome. Hello, Valerie. Beautiful building. Oh yeah, Joanne says, what a beautiful building. Judith remembers that scene as well. Oh, so glad so many people watch Crocodile Dundee. Let me know if anything else takes place in this building. I think there was a recent movie that took place in this building as well. Look at this. Wow. You think this is architecture? Now this is architecture. I gotta work on my Australian accent. What building? The Manhattan Municipal Building. Dun dun dun. This is why you should wander around. Exactly. Precisely. So Stephanie says, there's a lot of funny lines from Kakao Dundee. Another one says, I'll alert the media, sir. Shall I was your blank for you, sir? Oh. Hey, Jadwiga, you're watching from Sweden. Oh, cool. Nice. I don't know how to say hello in Swedish, but do let me know. How does one say hello in Swedish? What's the significance of New Amsterdam on the building? Oof. New Amsterdam barely has structures. Actually, nothing really survives from New Amsterdam in Manhattan. There's only like one house in Uptown Manhattan. So nothing. The only significance is this was just above the wall from the wall of New Amsterdam. So basically has zero connection to New Amsterdam, this specific building. And there's a gasoline, not gasoline, an electric vehicle charger right over here. I assume for some of the police cars. Hey Runa, you love watching my live videos. I'm so glad you do. So this is the police department, huge, huge facility. And they have the area right behind it locked. So this reminds me a lot of Boston, this particular area. It kind of looks like the Freedom Trail. Look at that. Amazing. Bella says hello. Hey, Bella. Bella, remind me if you're from New York or are you just visiting? Bella says, hey everyone, support them. Thanks to the Urbanists for wandering. I'm out wandering to film for my group. Oh, cool. We want 5K likes in 5 days. Oh, yeah. Are you near the old City Hall subway? I am. Okay, everyone, now we're getting really in a wander. Let's go to the subway. And then end at the Woolworth. But look at this church. Barely ever noticed this church or bothered to look at it. Can you do a peekaboo in the church? So this church is closed, but I'll show you the side of the church, which is interesting. This is the Catholic Church of St. Andrew. I like how, Lois says, I like how you do not respond to the stupid comments or questions. Well, no question is truly stupid, but there are questions that are a little bit, not related to history, food, or culture. So yeah, I'm glad, Lois, that you enjoy the focus on history, food, and culture, and to extension, architecture, urban planning, anything travel related. So there is mass here weekdays at 12:15 and 1:15. So we just missed. There's a mass currently going on, apparently. Maybe not because it's COVID, so it probably was pre-COVID. Beautiful. Wow. All right, let's go to the subway. Here's the backside. And cool alleyway over here. I've done the history of it before. Charlene says, have you heard of the new virus called peekaboo? Peekaboo, very, very serious affliction. Affects many children every year. They see their parent 1 minute, and then the next, the parent is gone. Terrible, terrible disease. I wonder where the entrance is. For the church? Yeah. I think it's closed because of COVID. Hey, Veronica, you're back near the 1PP. What's the 1PP? I'm not totally sure what that is. This is the Manhattan Municipal Building in downtown New York, right by the Brooklyn Bridge. And here at night, people hear moans and screams coming from this window. This window used to belong to the Sugar House prison window. But what is it? Well, it's an old landmark. A remnant of the American Revolution and the men that died in the prisons of the sugar houses. So more men died in prisoners of war under the British during the American Revolution than American men died at battle, on the battlefield. The British had two types of prisons. One on land, which was the sugar houses. But once the sugar houses got too packed, they end up having prison ships on huge, big ships where they would take out the sails and just leave the holes. Thing is, inside these prisons, both land and sea, it would just be packed to the brim with people. They would not take care of them. They would die of terrible disease, of starvation, and of dysentery. This apparently still haunted to this day, where if you come late at night, you might hear a moan or a scream or a young patriot begging for his life. Why are they called sugar houses? Well, they were sugar houses. They were just they were confiscated by the British when they attacked and converted into a prison. But they were sugar houses where they stored sugar. Let's check out the ugliest subway station in all of New York City before we go to the Woolworth. Stop blaming the British for everything. When you talk about American history, it's very hard not to. I don't blame too much the British for other things, but it's just history. One Police Plaza, says Lori. Lori, I think that is not common knowledge. 1PP. Is this Chambers Street? Yep. And these are Guastavino tiles. They have a good echo if you do some whistling, which let me do. Right? Good whistling. Phil says, I do love England. Yeah, Phil, I do love England. You can't blame the British for ugly subway stations. Oh, yes we can. Because back in the American Revolution, the British decided to bombard this area and make the ugliest subway station in all the world. No, just joking. They didn't do that. Here's the not subway, this is the subway with the V. You can blame the British for that as well. They decided to spell a V. All right, let's check out the ugliest subway. Where's the City Hall subway? Right next to us. This does connect. Does it connect? Yeah, it connects. So they're both connected. We'll walk across. to J Street. B. Griffith says, don't go into the subway dungeon. Now, the subway has gotten better. It used to be much uglier. Granted, a few YouTubers did make a video while it was still extremely ugly. Now, it used to be a 2 out of 10. Now it's about 3 out of 10. So it's gotten a little bit better. It's put on the, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw something much far scarier than the ghost. Far scarier than a fairy or a demon. I saw bad infrastructure. Yeah. One of the most scariest things on this earth is bad infrastructure. Gives me shivers. Do the Brits have prison ships on the Brooklyn Navy Yard? Yes, they used to be in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Valerie says, "I miss my calling." I did miss it. I'm still very young. I can easily continue into a career of acting into my 80s. Charlene says, "Boo, bad infrastructure." Yep, bad infrastructure, terrifying, terrifying. Uh-oh. What is lurking? A late train. The second most scariest thing, a late train. When you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and the train never comes. And then just as you're about to get frustrated and leave towards the Uber that you just ordered, the train arrives at the platform. One of the greatest horrors of New York life. But without further ado, let's do a bench review. Dun 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 dun. We need a theme song for the bench reviews. Dun 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 dun. Bench reviews time. The bench review. Will this bench hit the benchmark? Is it a basic bench? Is it a waiting bench? Or is it a bench from the depths of New York tunnels? Let's see what type of bench this is. All right, let's test this bench. Let's do a bench test and see if it reaches the benchmarks of this bench. All right, I'm ready. All right. All right. No sense of piss. No sense of piss. That's good. That's good. No bird poo, luckily, or no human poo. All right, good. No human poo, no piss. That's awesome. The roaring trains mysteriously echoing down the tunnel. All right, good atmosphere. I like it. It feels like I'm in a 1970s movie, like The Warriors, which is nice. Good atmosphere. I would say that is atmospheric. Has quite a cinematic flavor to it. I like this bench. This is a good bench. This is a true New York City bench. Dare I say a quintessential New York City bench. A bench that is not merely a basic bench. This bench enjoys some good movies. This is a good bench. Everyone, I would give this bench a solid 6.66 out of 10. Yeah, 6.666 out of 10. That's my rating for a bench. Repeating decimal, of course. The rest is okay. It's a good waiting bench. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. It has reached the benchmark. You changed your standards to review the bench. Oh, but Irene, the beauty of a bench test is that there are no standards. Let's check out the other side, because the other side we can see some old staircase. In the station, no one can hear you scream. No one can hear you scream in this station. Except for, the dozen or so subway riders. Those benches are dirty. No, that one was pretty clean, I must say. We got lucky on that bench. I told you, everyone, this is the ugliest subway station in all of New York City. There's only like 2 others that might compete with it. The other one's the Hoyt Skirmihorn stop in Brooklyn. Please move on, Ariel, says Lois. Lois, what? You don't like Urban Decay, Lois? So beautiful. In a weird, terrible way. So here's the old staircase, and we see a lot of the old tiling. And here we see a very old tiling piece of the Brooklyn Bridge. Looks like the station where French Connection was filmed. Maybe. Let me know if anyone knows that for sure. Our station is now cleaner because of COVID. Yeah, they are. They are. They're doing a better job in cleaning it up. So Projectile says it's so easy to fix. Yeah, could be. I'll show you City Hall station, which is connected to this. And right here. So you asked where City Hall station is? Right here. Literally right here. So MJ was filmed in the Hoyt Schermerhorn stop, which is almost as ugly as this one, almost. Feels like the PC game Doom. Oh, PC game Doom? That's how it would look like on Doom. Final boss. Health low. The music video Bad from Michael Jackson was filmed at Hoyt Schermerhorn, if I'm correct. So pro tip, take this 6 train, stops right here, or you can take it from an earlier stop. Stay on the train. They'll tell you to get off, but stay on it. Because it goes all around and goes around the City Hall stop. You can do your own FPS, Urbanist versus the zombies. That would be funny. Lois says I'm having way too much fun. Way too much. Maybe Lois, maybe. Is there such thing as too much fun? That's what happens when you've covered New York City way too many times. I've done way too many videos of New York City. I have to think of none of their creative ways of showing it. Here's Horace Greeley, famous newspaperman. So an Urbanist video game is coming out. It'll be a video game where you play a live streamer doing a walking tour of a city on live stream. And suddenly the zombies come to invade. Zombies and aliens. So aliens send in the zombies first and then the aliens come. And you have to ward them off as you're walking around the city still live streaming. So that is the new video game coming out on PS5. Stay tuned. $4K, same guy from Greeley Square? Yep, same guy from Greeley Square, yeah. Oh, cool, Hyde. Thank you. French Connection. Awesome. I appreciate it. So, French Connection was a different station. I wonder which one is it? You said I could do this in my sleep, says Susie. Maybe, Susie. By the way, the size of that PS5. Indeed. What would be my weapon of choice? Well, for almost all my first-person shooter, I don't condone violence, but in video games, I admit it is fun. I use a rocket launcher. I love rocket launchers in first-person shooters. I love the train, says Fran. I'm so glad you do, Fran. What is the history of City Hall? Why is it located in Lower Manhattan? Oh, great question, Adam. Adam, the history of City Hall. Well, this is one of the most expensive buildings ever made in New York City. And it doesn't quite look like it, right? If adjusted for inflation, if adjusted for inflation, this building would cost $400 million. The reason for that is it was built during the time of our most corrupt leader of New York City government. His name, of course, was Boss Tweed. And Boss Tweed had a lot of kickbacks. He wasn't officially mayor, but he basically ruled the city because he ruled the political machine behind the mayoral office and basically every single part of governance here in New York City. And he ended up but in order to get kickbacks, he would hire companies that he is personally associated with, and he would ask the company, hey, sell it for a little bit more expensive, give me the kickback. Kickback means I'll get the extra money because I'm giving you bigger profits, but you also give me some of that piece of the bigger profits. So each chair, and I don't remember the exact figures, but you can imagine each chair back in the late 1800s, 1860s, 1870s, cost about like $1,000 each chair. The painting, the actual coat of paint cost in the hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to build City Hall. And he got a whole lot of kickbacks. That was one of the final straws for Boss Tweed and his extravagant building style and his massive kickbacks. He was then jailed at the Tombs, which we passed, and then he escaped. He wanted to escape out to Cuba, but then he was extradited. Came back here. He was a huge, robust man. You can see a depiction of him in the film Gangs of New York. And then when he came back trying to escape, he was extremely thin and very sickly. And yeah, that's the end of Boss Tweed. So that's why City Hall is here. Great question, Adam. $4K Wanderer says inflation leads to inflammation. It does indeed. Wow, history says hi. Yeah, indeed. RD says they're all thieves and liars. Oh, I wouldn't go that far. There's decent people in government. Call your game, says Ronald. Walk toward Dead Redemption. That's a good title. Walk toward Dead Redemption. Good reference of a few games. AK spent a lot of time in this station. We must remember the man with the camera has the power, says Joe. Indeed. Wow, history. Seeing all the municipal building is a joy for me. First place I will go when I visit New York for the first time. Lorraine, oh, so glad. Ariel knows more than the people who were born here. Maybe Veronica. I've done a whole lot of videos. As I mentioned, 1,000 videos plus of New York. Ash gives a 4 pounds super chat for a good cup of tea. Cool, thank you so much. I will enjoy a good cup of Earl Grey. Probably call up my friend Patrick Stewart, Sir Patrick Stewart, see if he wants to have a good cup of Earl Grey, and we can discuss a little bit of Shakespeare. Who wants me to do a live video with Patrick Stewart? Let me know in the comments. He lives in Park Slope. And he is on social media, so. Oh, pieces of meat. Oh, no. For $7, which is the equivalent of 4 pounds, I will be getting a pot of tea. Thank you so much. I'm new to this channel. Hey, Prem. Nice to see you here. So here we have Manolito. I hope you're still watching. The Woolworth building. We have arrived. The grand skyscraper by Cass Gilbert. Basically the last great Art Deco skyscraper to rule the skies of New York. Well, Art Deco. Not Art Deco, but a little bit before Art Deco. Still made with stone, unlike Chrysler and Empire. Donald says I could say to the replicator, making reference to Star Trek. Earl Grey, hot. Engage. However, I heard a lot of buildings without elevators, you have to walk stairs a lot. Projectile, great question. That happens with residential buildings that predate World War II. So they call them pre-war buildings. I think they predate World War One in most cases, pre-war buildings, and since they're pre-war buildings, there usually wasn't elevators in buildings that were about 6 stories tall or shorter, and hence you do have to walk up the stairs. But not for these skyscrapers. All these skyscrapers had elevators. They would not really build any buildings taller than about 8 stories without elevator, and if they were 8 stories, it would be a very unique building. I don't think there's any building above 8 stories that doesn't have an elevator. Where's the Empire State Building? Oh, it's not visible from this perspective. We are in downtown Manhattan. Empire State Building is in Midtown Manhattan, about 20-minute ride away. So this is the Woolworth building, gorgeous building. It was redesigned or renovated by the same architectural firm that did the American Copper building, which is the bendy building right by the ferry stop. So really cool building. I really enjoy it. And the cool thing is, it's Art Deco, but Art Deco with stone. So it's kind of like Art Deco. It's like kind of in the between, the moving point where Beaux Arts are going to more Art Deco. So you can call this the last Beaux Arts major skyscraper, I think. This and the one in Madison Square Park, actually, which were both built by Cass Gilbert. So Cass Gilbert was actually going to build a building much taller than the Woolworth. So I think there's gargoyles. Is there gargoyles? Let's see. Am I near Wall Street? I am, yeah. It's a projectile, more so Beaux-Arts. More so Beaux-Arts. I misspoke. Art Deco, the very first Art Deco building was the Radiator building right by Bryant Park. So Beaux-Arts, but you know, of course, it has Gothic elements, of course. So Beaux-Arts, I misspoke a little bit earlier. Really looking at it as Beaux-Arts. Beaux-Arts had a combination of classical styles. So there was Romanesque, there was Gothic, all these classical styles kind of infused together. That was Beaux-Arts. Now, Cass Gilbert was going to build something even larger than this in the same style of building. So it was going to be 100 stories tall. 100 stories tall in Madison Square Park. I actually covered it, so if you want to see the full history back then, you can watch that video on YouTube. However, the stock market crashed exactly when he was building it, which was around the era where the Art Deco skyscraper was also starting. So that's why I had a little bit of a mix-up. That ended up not being built. Only a third of it was built. I think maybe about like 30 stories, 40 stories were built out of it, out of the 100 it was supposed to. So Cass Gilbert, one of the last great Beaux Arts architects in New York City and the US. He also built many other buildings. He also experimented with a bunch of different styles. He did like an Egyptian revival style building in Williamsburg. So if you ever go to the Williamsburg waterfront, there's these condominiums that look like Egyptian tombs, and he did that same style. Bus tour, yeah. There's a few bus tours passing through. Yeah. Was your video you referenced the 15 most unique buildings? Yeah, 8 most unique buildings. I did not cover this one in the 8 most unique buildings. It was more modern ones. The video is called Madison Square Park Architecture, somewhere along those lines. It was about 2 months ago. And did the roof covering of the Woolworth get removed and painted green? Oh, I'm not entirely sure what happened with the roof, but it was heavily renovated. It was indeed heavily renovated. And there are tours inside, but they don't allow video. They're very strict about that. So I haven't been able to tape inside, but I'll show you the lobby. Let's get closer to it. There are videos of the apartment inside the Woolworth. Oh, good to know. Okay. I am indeed a short walk away from the 9/11 memorial. Is it walking sign? Yeah, walking sign. What New York City neighborhood would you choose to live? Says Projectile. My personal choice for New York City neighborhood is Soho. I would live in the penthouse apartment in Soho. I do intend on living in the penthouse apartment in Soho, mostly because it's such a beautiful neighborhood. There's so much things to do in Soho. Let me peek in. Zoom in over here. So that's a little peek of the lobby. I'll show you from the backside. It's also a famous street that people visit. Well, this is Broadway, yeah. It leads to a lot of landmarks, and there's traffic again. Which, no, anonymous. This is not that type of channel. Did you do a live rooftop party? A few times, yeah. I've done like three rooftop bar videos on Facebook. You gotta search them up. Oh, it's Lady Liberty's birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Lady Liberty. Here we have the headstone of a Native American. And we have like Greek figures down there. Really cool building. So yeah, really awesome building. Highly recommend it. Which New York City has the best tap water? New York has all the same tap water. It's all good. 4K Wanderer says hello. And let me know if you have any last remaining questions. That brings us to the end of our wandering. I hope you enjoyed it. And there's so much awesome things to see here in downtown Manhattan. You can continue easily for a few hours seeing a bunch of the sights down here. I have a bunch of videos of it as well, so you can check them out. And peace. I see the Dow dropped. Also not that type of channel. There's a bunch of stock market channels. Happy birthday. See you, bro. And everyone. Oh, I'll put a last pro tip. Right next to a Woolworth, there's a nice little public park. Great place to have food if you're taking it to go and want to sit down and relax. Right next to the Woolworth building here in downtown Manhattan. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. See you on Saturday for a special Halloween broadcast. I'm Ariel with Urbanist. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good day.